Today's video is slightly random. It's a random vlog of things we did the weekend, from cycling to repotting things in the garden to trying to finish my jumper. We also went to the farmer's market and picked up a bunch of vegetables, but to be honest, it was pretty chill. So I hope you enjoy this random mix of things, but I answer a few of your questions at the end of this video as well. So we're heading out on a bike ride this morning, and last night I finished the front of my jumper, and this morning I started on the sleeves, so I just have the 2 sleeves to do. It's in 4 separate pieces and hopefully I will finish it today. The weather is less nice today, which is perfect for cycling. So we're gonna go to a canyon nearby and do maybe a 12-mile cycle, which is really great. I've been really missing cycling, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then hopefully finish my jumper today, and the farmer's market is today, so hopefully I can get a bunch of stuff, because next week I want to do a video on learning to can. And I did buy a book to help me, which I will share with you. Yeah, I thought I'd do a more casual vlog today because someone asked for it, and if you ask, you will receive. Okay, I'm just gonna get ready and head off. Happy Monday. I did try to make this vlog as casual as possible, but alas, I probably failed. The book I was talking about is the Ball Home Preserving book. I was able to get this pretty cheap, which is nice. And there are just lots of recipes in here, which I think is really good, because even though I am not new to preserving, I'm definitely new to canning. It's been something that I guess worried me, so I didn't decide. I just didn't feel like attempting it, because I need space to mess it up, or I need space to fail on it, just to, you know, just in case. But there are so many good recipes in here that I'm just so excited to try, especially things like, you know, chili sauce, barbecue sauce, apple butter, things like that. We don't have that in the UK. I'd never heard of it before until we moved here, but I think it's honestly just like pureed apples, basically. It sounds delicious. Like, it just sounds like applesauce that we have in the UK. And then there's also like different kinds of pickles, like jardiniere, spelt with a J here. I've always seen it with a G. Anyway, doesn't really matter. So yeah, different things that I can look at. Cinnamon and watermelon rind pickles, that sounds interesting. Spiced red cabbage, love that, classic. Cucumber chips, kombucha. We still have a kombucha starter or mother in the fridge that we haven't tried yet. But anyway, this is the book that I was talking about. I'm so almost finished with my jumper. I am very excited. This has been a labor of love and took me a lot longer than this cardigan, probably because the stitches are so small. But I've done the front and I've done the back, and now I've almost finished with one of the sleeves. So that's definitely something I'm going to finish today. Thought I'd also answer just a few questions that I asked on Instagram. If you had any questions for me, and I did get quite a few questions, so I thought I would answer some of them. I know you drink a lot of coffee, but how do you have your tea? I always have Earl Grey, and I always have a bit of oat milk in my Earl Grey. I used to drink English breakfast a lot when I was younger, but I couldn't drink it without a teaspoon of sugar. And that's a very bad habit for my teeth. So I decided to stop drinking that. Or I got used to Earl breakfast without sugar, but I'm an Earl Grey girl now, Earl Grey. Why did you guys choose Colorado? We chose Colorado because we wanted to be in a city, but in a city that was like within 10 to 30 minutes of nature. So there are some really good state parks around Denver that you can go to. I think there's a state park, Cherry Creek, in Denver, or it's in Aurora, I guess, maybe. Is that right? But we wanted to be somewhere that had mountains, that had access to hiking, backpacking, skiing, cycling, rock climbing, top roping, lead climbing, bouldering. We wanted to be near all of those things, and Colorado just ticked all of those boxes. Also, coming from the UK, I wanted to live somewhere that had like a lot of sunshine, and I wanted to see what impact that had on my mental health. And while I do find the heat oppressive sometimes, having this much sunshine is a privilege, and I do not take that for granted. My sister has written, is Ralphie a precious prince? That's her dog. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, and I miss him a lot. Okay, transition from long distance to married, living together, any funny habits, surprises, etc. Honestly, living together, because I'm much more aware of my mood changes, it makes me realize just how much of an impact my whole menstrual cycle has on me, and just like the way that I depending on the time, it shows when I'm up for doing things and when I'm not, and how consistent his mood is. So it'll be like my energy levels will go down the week before my period, so I won't be up for doing scary things like lead climbing or skiing, or well, things that I find scary and like new things like that. But like the week after my period, I'll be up for anything. I'll be up for trying new boulders, I'll be up for trying scary hikes or much like harder hikes and endurance hikes. And it's just funny seeing how that has affected our relationship in terms of me being like, look, this part of the month I'm just not willing to do any of these things. These couple of weeks I'm willing to do all of it. Also small things like the habits that we have in terms of cleaning or tidying up. I'm very bad at cleaning and tidying up. That's why I try to put it into my morning routine. And there are just small things that you just have to kind of get used to. But on the whole, it's like the best thing ever. So you just get to spend uninterrupted time together. You don't have to say goodbye. You just get a lot more comfortable with one another because you're spending so much time together, and it's nice. How do you stay motivated so often? I don't feel like doing anything regardless of passions. I actually don't feel motivated very much at all. I feel motivated again for like 2 weeks of the month, and then 2 weeks of the month because of my like menstrual cycle, I don't feel motivated at all. Sometimes it's really hard to not just want to sit on the sofa, eat crisps and watch TV all day. The biggest motivator for me is doing something that doesn't require motivation. Like knitting this jumper, for example. It doesn't require motivation because I find it incredibly relaxing. I find it very interesting. I picked it up pretty quickly, so I feel like that's a self-fulfilling motivator. Being naturally good at something makes you want to do it more. It's the same also with like daily videos. Obviously, I know I just took the last 2 days off, but that's motivating for me because I'm getting feedback immediately from you and understanding that people do want to watch my videos. I know this sounds ridiculous because I have a lot of followers, but you do get in a rut as a creator and you don't know if people are actually interested in your videos anymore And even if people are giving you that feedback saying, oh, this is a good video or whatever, or I'm glad to see your videos, it will still surprise me every time when I take a break and people will write, I missed your videos. It will always surprise me. It will always be like a comforting hug that people still want to watch my content. I don't know why. I always enjoy the daily videos. The first Vlog-ust I did last year was a real eye-opener for me. It made me realize that it pushes me creatively, and when I get in a rut, it's because I'm not challenging myself anymore. It's because I'm not being like stimulated in a way that I'm doing something that is difficult for me. Creating videos is not difficult. It's something that I've spent hours every day for years trying to get better at, but it's the daily videos that is a challenge for me. So that's like a good example of something that helps to perpetuate or reinforce that motivation, because you're getting that instant feedback of, oh, I've actually been able to create something pretty good in one day. This is really exciting. And then continue. How are the vegan food options in the US versus the UK? I think the vegan food options are incredibly good. I went to New York recently to hang out with some other creators and some people I work with in the UK. And obviously in New York, the food options are amazing. Even in Denver, there are lots of food options. I don't necessarily think they're all that great, but they are definitely available. Less so in terms of having a good vegan veggie option in most restaurants. That is something that's very big in the UK that's not here. What are some differences you've noticed between life in England and life in Colorado? I mean, everything. Literally everything is different. It's hard to kind of actually put it into words how different life is living here. Some good, some bad. Lots good, lots bad. Okay, before this video gets too rambly, I'm going to stop here, but I am going to answer more questions in a more interesting video, I think, this week. So thank you for watching. I'll keep you updated on the sweater situation. The jumper situation. I definitely do find I'm picking up more American words, which I'm trying not to do. But it's really hard when you're around people all the time that just say those things. So don't give me a hard time about it, okay? I will see you tomorrow.